Hey, 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 hey. All right, we live. What's up, YouTube? How you doing? Welcome to AMPspirationTTV. Yeah. They hate me cause I'm black and proud and unapologetic and I wear the crown. And they cannot forget it, yes, I'm feel me. They hate me cause I'm black and proud and unapologetic and I wear the crown. Yeah. And they cannot forget it, yes, I'm
You know they study out the medical, they give it to the highest of the soul. Push out the fire like a pinnacle. The devil niggas cause we pinnacle. Melanated bodies on a sugar boat. Document December with no winter coat. Now they buck breaking on the whipping, posing for the foreign language on a nigga throat. Hella black, hella proud. A vibe you could feel when we come around. A Babylon fear us and gun us down. This kid is the weapon that harness power. I pity the fool if he act funny. Respecting the queen, we act nutty. Came through with the Mac dumping, all praise due to the black woman. Unapologetic, fuck who got a problem with it. My life in the scripture. It happened cause I said it, now I manifested, so I be painting the picture. Niggas breaking bread, and they drinking blood now. That shit look like voodoo. I feel empowered every time the sun come around.
They hate me cause I'm black. They hate me cause I'm proud. They hate me cause I'm black. They hate me cause I'm They hate me cause I'm black. They hate me cause I'm proud. They hate me cause I'm black. They hate me cause I'm black and I'm proud. Black and I'm proud. I'm black and I'm proud. Black and I'm proud. They hate me cause
This is that energy, niggas couldn't put a price on it, no dollars. I am T'Challa, Commander, wrapped up in the finest linen, no collars. All the gods the same, Jesus, Jehovah, Khan, Buddha, and Allah. All war, dude. Separate our people, divide and conquer. It was more to gain, cause we suffered through all the rain, through the hunger and all the pain. So we open up doors to things. We are the people, under the eye of the eagle, ready to ride on the eagle. That shit I've been trying to teach you. Down and reach you with nobody fly and regal. Yeah, black and I'm proud, never lacking a lot. I created that bush, it's a god of my life. If you want that bullshit, it's whacking them out. Booking these shows and we packing them out. I don't act for the clout, you know what I'm about. System designed for us not to get out. We must be divine, I'm nothing to doubt.
They hate me cause I'm black. They hate me cause I'm proud. They hate me cause I'm black. They hate me cause I'm black and I'm proud. Black and I'm proud. I'm black and I'm proud. Black and I'm proud. They hate me cause I'm black. They hate me cause I'm proud. So proud. Back to back. They hate me cause I'm black. They hate me cause I'm proud. What? They hate me. They hate me cause I'm black. They hate me cause I'm proud. They hate me cause I'm black. Hey, 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 how are y'all doing this evening? This is AMPspirationTTV on YouTube, and I am your host, the Plump Queen. I am awesomely excited. This is our first time going live on YouTube. I am here to introduce you guys to all of this AMPspiration. I'm not doing this by myself. Today we have my sister, amazing sister, Jessica Mack.
Hey, Lovey.
Hey, this is my awesome friend, This is actually my boss. You know what I'm saying? All that good stuff. And we're going to have an awesome time. We're going to talk about some important things. We're going to introduce ourselves to you. And hopefully you guys can get all of this Southern vegan soul inspiration.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? All right. So I'm going to start with introducing myself. I am Plump Queen. This is my brand, AMPspirationTTV. I started this 3 years ago. I was not sure what I wanted to do. I just knew I wanted to help my people. I just knew that I wanted to fill my purpose, and I didn't know how to do it, but I knew I had something to say. So I decided to start going live on Facebook and just giving my thoughts and my experience on certain things. And I was extremely nervous the first time I started, but I think I've gotten a little bit, you know what I'm saying, into it now. So I'm going to retell my story. I'm going to have Jessica tell her story, whatever that may be, whatever she's comfortable with. And, we're just going to get on into it. So AMPspirationTTV came about because I lost my arm in a car accident about 13 years ago. My friend, she fell asleep while driving, and I woke up like this. That is the short version, of that. My first words after losing my arm was, at the time, thank God that I'm alive. From day one, I was just happy that I was alive. And whether people know this or not, this was the start. This was, the catalyst to my greatness. This is why you see the person and the being that you see today, because of that quote unquote, tragedy. You know what I mean? So, and it goes to what we're going to be talking about with perception. On how you perceive things, the things that happen to you, the way you perceive life and the things that go along with it. And these things can make or break your life. You know what I'm saying? It can speak life into you, or it can bring death, depending on how you choose to perceive it. Okay, so I decided to perceive this as my gift, as my second chance at life, because I could have, and the way it looked, should have died. My arm was completely off when the accident was done. So from my, educated guess, I should have bled out because my arm was gone, but I didn't. I'm going to assume my body went into shock, and which is our body is amazing. It is made to protect ourselves and to preserve ourselves. And, I survived. And, and a lot of people feel like I should have been upset with my friend, and I'm not. Her and I are awesomely sisters. I'm just glad that this situation didn't ruin her life, because it definitely gave, me substance, whether you perceive it that way, or not. To be quite honest, like I was telling Jessica when I was explaining the story to her, she had to visually, see and go through this accident. That wasn't me. I was there, but I was asleep for the whole situation. So I didn't hear anything, see anything, or feel anything. You see what I'm saying? So I don't have no remembrance of it. And this is one of the reasons why I feel like I took it so well. Again, perception. I know other people who were awake for, their accident. So they have a different perspective, on what being an amputee is. So it's really important, as well as non-important, when it comes down to perception. Okay, so that's pretty much the short story, a short version of my story. And as we continue to go on live, I'm definitely going to throw in, the little innuendos and stories, to continue to inspire. But I would like Jessica to come on in and to tell her story, introduce herself to you all. Hey, Jess.
Hey, what's going on, lady? So my name is Jessica, and I am the owner of Southern Vegan Soul Cafe in Macon, Georgia. And I basically have the only 100% vegan restaurant in Macon, Georgia. About 9 years ago is when I first went vegan. I was inching up on 400 pounds, and I had my son, and things had to change. So long story short, I lost over 150 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, changing my eating and working out like a beast, and continuing that path, and just wanting to be that venue for people that want to do the same thing and just change their eating, just become healthier, a healthier lifestyle. Health is wealth. As you see, I'm rocking on my earrings all day, every day.
Yes.
I work out about 5 days a week because I know physically from my body, I'm getting older. I'm inching up on 40 very soon in 2 years. So I'll be 38 this year. So I know that I have to work my body in order to not only just to stay fit, but to keep it moving. So I'm very grateful for my platform that I'm able to provide those services for people that are trying to do better, not only for themselves but for their family.
Well, I appreciate you. I know the people of Macon appreciate you, especially them customers. Trust me, I know. The food is amazing. I've actually lost 7 pounds just working for you. Yeah, I've been going between 200 and 205 for the past year, which was an accomplishment because, like I said,
right, where you came from,
260. So I try not to beat myself up because I have not been. I lost all of that weight a good decade ago. And
beautiful.
I have not gone back to my biggest weight or whatever, but I've been struggling between that a little bit. But since I started working with you, got you. You know what I'm saying? Between eating your food and honestly not eating because I'm busy now. Like, you don't understand how, much productivity that you have brought, to my life. Like, I've had the time to build this little brand together because I've had the time, but I've also had a lot of leisure time. And it sometimes makes me feel like I'm stagnant. I feel like I'm doing more, you know what I'm saying? But then again, it's like I'm only doing this internet thing. But, going to Southern Vegan Soul Cafe every day gives me a purpose, and it goes along with what I got going on, talking about health, having a better lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Once you fully open and your mic nights and all that, those are, that's just more people for me to inspire.
Yes.
Like, it's just amazing. Like, so it's not a job. You're right. I work with you because I do not feel like I go to work, even though I be working. But
you be working.
I appreciate it. Like, you also let me know that I haven't lost my touch. Haven't worked in 13 years. You know what I'm saying? And I've had the opportunities, but it just never felt right. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't about to put all of my time and my energy into corporate America, still having to deal with stuff that I got going on, knowing how that is. I wasn't about to do that, but I ain't working for the man. I feel like, I am helping a Black-owned business. I feel like
really are.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm helping the community, by being a part of the only, vegan restaurant in Macon, Georgia, because my peoples are from here, and I just really want us to get ourselves together here in Macon, Georgia, because today when I was walking around, I just saw so much stuff that you just pass by, and I know everybody passes by. The buildings historically, have history in there. Our ancestors' pain, and I feel like people just walk by it.
Like it ain't nothing.
You know what I'm saying? And it truly means something. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate, you having the situation. I feel like everything that goes on in my life helps me grow. So, and you got me thinking and wanting to feel these things. Even eating the food makes you want to open up your mind and all that good stuff. So yeah, like we truly appreciate you, and for having, your restaurant, and I'm honored, to help you grow it and build it.
Well, listen, you a beast. So I'm just definitely blessed to have you on the team, because I really can't do it on my own. And I have to realize that there are people out there that is designed to help. And I feel that you are there to do so. And I'm just very, very beyond grateful. I was just thinking, I don't even remember how we met, but I feel like I've known you
I don't always get that. No, what happened? Somebody told me about vegan food, because I remember when Back to Eden's was around and it shut down, and I was just like, ugh. And I don't know how I came across, and it's just so funny. All of the people that have been so monumental in my life these past 3 years, I truly cannot remember
how you met them.
You know what I'm saying, that we met. It's just, you were there and now we're connected. And it's like, I've known you forever. It's kind of like that. But I'm sure I came to your restaurant on a Sunday because I have not been able to get on the bus to get to Eisenhower, you know what I'm saying, do the weekdays. So it was definitely on a brunch day. And I just was coming, and I believe once Atasi came into the situation is when, with the Quantum night and all that, I think that's when we kind of just engaged and got that popping. So
I appreciate it either way. However it happened, it happened.
Right. All of you guys have just been major assets, you know what I'm saying, to my life. And it's just awesome. It's just awesome. So I want to get into your question. You had a question this rising. You had asked, how important is perception? I want to hear your thoughts on that, and I'm going to try really hard, you know, not to monologue to y'all when I give my perspective. So let's hear it. Why do you think? No, not you, not me, you. Yeah, here we go. Right. So how do you feel that perception is important, and why?
I posed the question because people have their own perception on what perception is. So I think it is, like we were talking earlier, it is important, but on the flip side, it's not important. For instance, your perception of me, which I've had people tell me, their perception of me at the beginning when they meet me is like, she can't be happy all the time. She smiles too much. She must have, you know, hidden pain, or she just seems too bubbly, or she just doesn't seem authentic. And then that perception, as they get to know me, changes. And these can change either by facts, what they've seen, you know, what they've proven, you know, could be wrong in your perception. You could perceive something wrong. And it's like when you wear glasses and when you don't wear glasses. Without your glasses, something may look one way, but when you put your glasses on, it doesn't change what it actually is, but your visual on it has changed because it is now more clear. So I had that question because I am learning that people's perception kind of shapes them and how they are. It bases their perception is based on the decisions that they make through life, and all of that jazz. So somebody, let's even go to, you know, Juneteenth. Somebody could be like, well, all Black people are bad because I seen this one Black person kill this other person or whatever. They're perceiving that all Black people are bad, but until they get to actually come around more Black people that are not that way, then their perception has now changed. Absolutely. You know what I mean? So I just think you can't change nobody's perception. It has to be changed within themselves.
Absolutely. I co-sign that 1,000%. Can you give me some examples of that? Because, like, I'm the type of learner, you can explain something to me all day. But metaphors and actual visuals is how I truly absorb knowledge.
Okay.
Perception. I used to think because certain things I couldn't grasp, I didn't think I was smart enough. I know I'm intelligent, but when it comes down to certain other people, I felt like I didn't measure up. Now, I didn't beat myself up about it, but that is how I felt. Until I took up psychology, a psychology class, and we had to do a test to teach us, to pretty much grade us on how we learn. And I figured out that I'm an actual visual learner. Just have to, I'm a hands-on learner. You have to show it to me. You show it to me once, I got it. You know what I'm saying? I think you can attest to that with.
Oh yeah, that's how I am, for sure.
Exactly. So my perception of myself changed once I learned and I educated myself about myself.
Right.
Now I no longer, and I still work on it, you know what I'm saying, but I no longer feel inferior when I don't know something that I sometimes feel that I think I should. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I wasn't exposed to that. That's why I don't know. Or it wasn't to me properly. That's why I don't know. And it has nothing to do with my intelligence.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yes,
It's based on your experience, not your intelligence. Right.
absolutely. So that comes with self-awareness. I always talk about self. My platform is really about that because it molds your perception of yourself. Honestly, is what guides you through life, and even with how you perceive other people. Can you in your life, do you have any examples of where that is true?
So love and relationship.
All right.
So someone that has had many bad experiences with either women or with men, whoever they are dealing with, they could go in a relationship that could be healthy, but because they're perceiving it to be, oh, this is not going to work because I know this is this and this is that. You can't really move forward if that person is perceiving one way that is not even, it's their reality.
Gotcha.
But it's not holistically based on facts. It's based on your past experiences. So, not to put my business all out in the street, but it happens. So I was married for 14 years. I got married when I was 22 years old. Right. So now that I am divorced, I'm learning how to kind of figure out this love and relationship type deal. Right. So my perception is when you love someone or you find interest in someone and you begin to love them, these are certain things that you do to show that you love them. For instance, I find myself, cooking, making sure things are clean because that's what I'm used to. My perception is, growing up with my mom, this is how you're supposed to be with a man. You're supposed to not only show them physical support, like keeping the house clean, making sure there's dinner, making sure the children are good, but that emotional piece, like, you can talk to me about anything. So I'm thinking that is quote unquote normal to show that you care for someone. But on the flip side, if the one that you are dealing with has a different perception on relationship, what you're doing is not wrong. What I'm doing is not wrong in how I love, because that's the way I perceive how you love someone. But if that person is not perceiving that as love, or even if they are perceiving it as love, they think, oh, well, if you do this, that means, this way, this is too serious. This is going too fast. But in my brain, no, this is what it is. It's not at a certain pace. If I'm going to give you myself, this is me. This is how I give myself. It doesn't have to go in stages. But again, I've been married for 14 years. I don't know this dating game. I don't know how it has been warped and transformed that if you do that, then they think that you're trying to marry them. You know what I mean? So I'm just learning that if somebody has, in my experience, if you're perceiving that I'm moving too fast, but in my head, I'm not really moving too fast, this is just me, that's when things can get a little rocky. And then add that to fear that this might be something. You're perceiving it as you're making this big thing in your head, and it's not even like reality. You're making it reality because that's your perception.
Glad you said that. So I did a show a while back about subjective and objective reality. They're two different things. Objective, reality is pretty much something that you observe. Mm-hmm. It's pretty much what you perceive. You know what I'm saying? That's why two different people can go through the same experience, but it completely differently.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's your reality. But then you have subjective reality that's universal for everyone. Don't matter who you pray to, what sex you are, you breathe oxygen. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You're a part of this. Those things are subjective. There is no. It's almost like I said, universal. Mm-hmm. Objective reality is what you feel and what you see and how you perceive it. That's the difference. See, people, we ride off the objective You know what I'm saying? Instead of implementing the subjective. And I feel like that's a problem. Like you was just saying about the dating game and you don't know the rules and all this other stuff. Why are there rules?
Why are there rules?
Why is it there this particular, you know,
like it's a game and you have to figure out how to play.
Yeah, this is not Monopoly. See, and that's the problem. We've made love and relationships a game. You know what I'm saying? And it's not a game when you're looking for, you know what I'm saying, that soul connection. We look at relationships, and in my opinion, so wrong, you know, in our society right now. We think about what a person can bring to us, you know what I'm saying, instead of how we actually connect. You know what I'm saying? Most people, I think you're going to know what I'm talking about while I'm talking about this. You know, you have people who get into these marriages, you know what I'm saying, committed relationships with people, you know, based off of status, you know, based off of what they feel like they need, perception. Society tells you need to be with somebody who has six, I'll say from a female perspective, you need somebody with 6 figures. You need some, you know, you need somebody that has good credit. You need somebody to have the you know, this of things to have so you can be comfortable in life. So most people are getting into relationships so they can be comfortable and not to actually be with that person. You see what I'm saying? That perception, I feel, is a problem.
It's like a business transaction.
Yes.
Basically, some people go in it like that.
Yes.
And unfortunately, in business, is actually, it could be, and one view of it, one perception of it is, if you're a partner, you should know everything I got going on, everything I plan to do, everything, because we're in business together. But when you're basing it on one person is receiving, okay, this is secretly my business partner. I'm only getting married. This is great for me. But that other person is not in it for that same reason. You're still not really on the same wavelength. It's still not going to work because you have different perception of what it should be. Exactly.
So with saying that, this is why I feel like we need to get to know each other. That's another bad perception about relationships. People think that all you need to do is be with each other for a couple of years and be having sex, and that automatically means that y'all should be getting married or y'all should be committed. That's a very bad perception because you don't know that person. This is how you get into long marriages, and then you're figuring, you know, this is why I said at Chill and Chat, 10 years. I stand by that. I'll continue to stand by that because we really don't know who we're dealing with. And it's not like it was back in the days. You know what I'm saying? Where communities were close. To be quite honest, 9.5 times out of 10, the person that you marry lived on your block.
Right.
Somebody you went to school with. Your whole family knew that.
Their family. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because back then you only had a rotary phone. So there was no secret phone calls and you having friends that your parents didn't know about.
Yep.
There was no you coming over to the crib without the parents know. See, it's a whole different way of going. And this is why the perception of relationships have changed. So this is why it doesn't last. Because you really
have access. It's too much access to, like, okay, you tripping on me? Okay, I can easily get on Facebook or Instagram and DM anybody that I like what they look like and send a message. Back in the day, you didn't have those options.
Nope.
You actually had to go to the grocery store and meet these people or go outside of town.
So, and there was no, and you really couldn't do that because everybody knew each other. You couldn't be in somebody's DM from the UK or somebody in a whole nother state. So you couldn't do that. You didn't have access. So everything was close knit. So you technically did know that person. Y'all grew up together. You knew their family. More than likely, you knew the issues they had going on. That's something else that we don't figure out. We get into these committed relationships and don't know who the family is.
What issues they already have, what they haven't worked at, you know.
9.5 times out of 10, you are marrying that person's family too, especially if they're a close-knit group. They're a part of their life. Their opinions count. Whether you think they should or not. They go because these are the people that have been in their lives their whole lives. So they really trust them, right, wrong, and different. They trust them. And then you're coming into the fold, and yeah, you got to fit in the, now there's always exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, yeah, you got to deal with them, and their perception counts. You don't know how they perceive life and what they go through, and you know what I'm saying? This is why keeping your family out your business, you know, was important. You know what I'm saying? I had to, not so much my family, but I had to learn how to dial back with saying certain things, because I'm the type of person, once I care about, once we like here, I tell you all my business. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm a very free flowing person when it comes down to, you know, because I personally don't do anything that, you know, anyone could judge me for. And if you did, so what? I don't. Your perception is not none of my business. You see what I'm saying? So my friends, they know me, my flaws, things I've done wrong, things I do great. They know all of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm free flowing with it. So I ain't got no time to be hiding. Ain't nobody
I just see and that, talking about perception again, my perception is like I'm too grown to be dealing with like elementary stuff. Like, oh, so and so yelled at so and so and cussed them. I'm like, really? Like that's
emotion.
I just don't have, you know what I mean? That's
emotion. Well, see, perception again, the way we perceive relationships. Most we look at each other as possessions. Something that I talk about a lot. We are not each other's possessions. I don't care what that piece of paper told you. No one, not even your children, belong to you in that way. You know what I'm saying? That's, again, an exchange of energy, how I like to call it. You chose to give birth to that child, so that was your responsibility to take care of it, just like it was that child's spirit wanted to come into this world and chose you. So it's an equal responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Where that comes from. They are not your possessions. They are not slaves. They're not little, you know, subordinates, you know what I'm saying, for you to just teeter-totter and stuff. That's not what children are for. Your spouse is not just your slave. Okay, we're married now, so you just got to deal with me and whatever I got going on. It doesn't matter. That's not what marriage, relationships, period, are about. But that's not how we're taught. You know, we're taught, you know what I mean, to death do his part, you mind.
No matter what.
Mine. Like, it messes up with the community, with our children. This is why kids are so disrespectful. Because
they don't want to,
And I'm not saying that you're supposed to go out chastising other people's children, because, again, everybody's perception of how to take care of their kids and discipline them are different. But every adult, I told the story before, when I was in kindergarten, I don't know why. I was acting up. I was 6. Who knows? You know what I'm saying, right? So my mom came to the school. I'll never forget, I was having this conversation with you about how I know all my teachers and they names and whatnot. Okay, so yes, Miss Kiana. She came into the library. And the library was right across from the main office. She brought this big old belt. I know it was my grandfather's belt. I know it was. Handed it to her in front of me. I'm 6 now. And looked me dead in my face and told me, if you ever act up, I give her permission to. She didn't curse because she was in church back then, so she didn't curse. But she was like, she has permission to whoop you when I'm not here. You know what I'm saying? She's your stand-in parent. You listen to her. You respect her. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, yes, mommy. Because I was not trying to get beat, I was not trying to get beat, especially in school. You know what I mean? So I was kind of fearful. And I know some people may not, may feel that different, but that instilled in me was a certain amount of respect. I wasn't about to get beat up. So I was going to respect that I was told. You know what I'm saying? And that's going away. Because now parents is like, you better not.
Which, and it's disheartening, because that's why your child or children end up on the street, because can't nobody tell them nothing, even if it's somebody trying to tell them, to act right. But they used to say it take a village to raise a child. I remember the first time my uncle popped my son. And when I came to pick up my son was all kinds of confused. I said, well, if I didn't trust your uncle to care for you, he's like me or daddy. If he's not going to tell you when you're doing wrong, he don't need to be caring for you, because that's not love.
That's right.
So yeah, he popped me. He was just like, only mommy and daddy can pop me. And if it's somebody that you know and love and they're telling you to do the right thing and you being off the chain with it, yes, they have permission. They ain't gonna beat you till you bleed. But if they spoke it at least 2 or 3 times and you still ain't budging,
some got to give. so got to give. So and that is so true. And a lot of people feel like I shouldn't speak about this because I haven't used my uterus yet. You know what I'm saying? But I'm the oldest of 10 grandchildren. So I know my experience, and then I've also watched my other 9 cousins and their experiences on being disciplined and all that other stuff. And like, I wish they would have rubbed up, just took heed to what I had going on, because yeah, I didn't do getting in trouble. I can count.
Yeah.
How many times my mom whooped me, and I know them verbatim because that's how small I can tell you verbatim every time. And I tell this one, saying she ain't gonna get, I'm grown now, but set the tone. And I know that you would never do this to your children. And I know there's a lot of people that may feel like, oh, hell no, that wasn't right. But I'm gonna keep it a buck. It set the tone. So I was 4. I've told this story before. My mom was talking to somebody in our room. I wanted her attention. She wouldn't give it to me. And then I called myself like hitting at her like, whatever.
No, ma'am.
Before my fingers could drop, all the way to get the in there. Bah! Now, that was a reflex because my grandmother, that's how my grandmother was. See, my grandmother had 7 children. And most of them were all in the same age, because the perception. Back then, they didn't understand that after you pop out a baby, you still in baby mode. So after them 6 weeks, you go pop, 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 and you're going to pop, pop, pop out another baby. They didn't understand that. So that's why she got 7 kids.
Back to back.
You know what I'm saying? So she had these 7 children. She was in an abusive marriage. Again, perception. She was in a marriage that she was made to be in because they fornicated.
So they made her get married.
Had a baby. You know what I'm saying? Then again, like I said, after them 6 weeks, got it popping again. Didn't have my uncle. So their parents like, oh, hell no.
Y'all get married.
Y'all getting married. Exactly. And you know what I'm saying? And because they were not happy, and because they didn't really know each other, and they did not know each other, they were just humping in the woods is what they were doing. But they were made to make a life to each other, and neither one of them were happy. And this is where the abuse comes from. My grandfather in a lot of ways was terrible, but all of that was learned behavior. His perception, that's what he saw. That's what he saw his uncles do. That's what he saw his father do. And then you had the women in our family who allowed it. You know what I'm saying? My aunt, my great grandma, she's my great grandma. She allowed her children to do certain things because that was her perception. That's
how it should be done.
That's just how it goes. That's what my father did. That's what my uncles did. And and it's just this long cycle, you know what I'm saying, of this. So again, perception. So to get back to what I was talking about, my grandmother, she was tired. So when the kids are acting up and all that, she would be quick to pick something up and throw it at them. My mom tells she used to launch things at them. You know what I'm saying? Because you got 7 babies. Shut up.
Right.
That's how that was. So that was instilled into my mother. Now, she immediately felt bad, and she never did it again, because I will give my mom that. There are certain things that she knew just wasn't right, even though that was a reflex of hers. Once she did it, she knew that wasn't the right thing to do. So she made herself trained herself to not do that. So that's why that would happen once and once only. And then I wasn't going to provoke her to do that either. Like I said,
Right.
that's the tone for me from day one. Oh yeah, excuse my language, she not to be fucked with. So yeah, let's not do that. That's how I felt at 4. I got it. Got you heard. I got it. You know what I'm saying? So again, how we are taught. And that's why we really need to learn ourselves. Once you learn yourself, like I've spent these last 5 years analyzing my family, myself, and why I do what I do, why they did what they did. You know what I'm saying? So I can have a better understanding, so I can be a better person. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't want to do that.
That's work.
Because it's work. That inner work is so important, and people don't understand that. And that's something that I truly, truly want to push. It is important to do your self-work. It's important. Everybody has something that they need to grow with. You're alive. There's always growth. Always. You know what I'm saying? And the more you work on yourself, the more the doors of your universe open. I promise you, like this last year in itself, it's just been so amazing since I've been doing the work, figuring out what I'm supposed to do, figuring out who I need to cut off, figuring out the type of emotions that I need to stop having. You know, the different perceptions that I need to stop having.
Listen.
Back. You know what I'm saying? Once I did that, a whole pandemic went by and I came up. You know what I'm saying? During a time where there are people who are so well-to-do are going down. Self-work.
It's super uncomfortable. That's my perception that it is. But it's like, even being 1 year after my divorce, it's just like I need to learn who Jesse is again. What I'm willing to put up with. What am I? Singlehood is not too bad. It's all right to be single. It's all right to be yourself. It's all right to figure you out. And so I can't even be mad for people outside of me and their perception of me. I got to know who I am.
That's right. Because your perception of yourself.
My perception of myself, just like what we talked about the other day about showing my good. Yes,
man. I'm so glad you brought that out, girl. Yes. Perception. This is exactly what I was trying to tell you. Because I spent my whole life pretty much, because I'm a big girl, there's certain things I'm not supposed to wear. There's just certain things that I'm not supposed to do. And once I lost my arm, it was just like, listen, you got a second chance at life. People are going to look at you anyway because people stare. Even after 13 years, people still stare, you know, when they see me. And instead of me, because some people don't like it, I'll be with my friends throughout the year. They don't like it. I done had a couple of my homeboys cursing people loud while I was with them because they're just, you know what I mean? And it doesn't bother me. It bother me at all, but for them, their perception, that's disrespectful. What are you staring at her for? She's normal. You wouldn't be looking at her otherwise like that kind of thing. So they feel like that's a way to protect me.
Right.
That's their perception. I personally feel like that's an inspirational moment for them, and that's why they're staring. Because they see me walking down the street with my one arm, but I'm walking just like they're walking. I'm walking like a regular person. So I hope that inspires them to know, like, oh, well, if something else happens to me,
to keep trucking.
I need to keep on trucking, and I need to keep with, you know what I'm saying, doing that. So that's what my perception of it is. At least that's what I want it to be. They're not trying to have that. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't trying to have it. So again, you know, just, ready. You know, so ready. So that's what I was trying to explain to you. So now it's like people gonna look anyway. The type of energy that I put out, I do not put out that energy that you can just approach me on some disrespectfulness. I don't care how much my cleavage is out. I don't care how much my hams be out. I don't give, for real. I don't give off that energy that I'm Tina. You know what I'm saying? That you can just come over here and I'm just this sexual being. Don't get me wrong. I sprinkle the sexy in there. But I don't give off that energy that you can just...
I'm looking for it. Like that's the...
I don't put out that energy at all. If you see any skin, I promise you it's hot. I promise. Yeah, it's to make me comfortable. Seriously, it's to make me comfortable. It has nothing to do with trying to get you to look at me, because all I gotta do is walk outside my door and you're gonna look. I don't do all that to get attention. You see what I'm saying? And so I was just trying to tell you, just girl, live your life to the fullest, because you just never know. And I didn't throw this in there. You would hate to lose something. You know what I'm saying? To understand that wasn't important. I think my lessons as well. Like, you think your body is so important? Yeah. Is it really? I've proven that it's really not. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I want to just give that bowl of sunshine to everybody. I'm not trying to tell about your goodies, but you know what I'm saying? If, you know, you go to, when we in Mexico, you know, when you in this water, you know what I'm saying? When you talk, you skin.
I gotta get my Spanish curls on, take these braids out.
Yeah, you know,
my natural.
That, you know what I'm saying? Don't be putting on no t-shirts too much.
Well, the t-shirt can be cute though.
Not on the Mexico beach. I can't imagine wearing no t-shirt on the Mexico beach. Like, maybe Savannah. Maybe, I don't know, but we talk about Puerto Vallarta. We're talking about.
You're right.
Like, just, man, if I could just roll around in the sand, booty naked, just to get the feeling of the earth. I told y'all from Africa, I did my DNA and I proved it. But you know what I'm saying? I've been saying that, like, I'm gonna just say, yeah, if I had it my way, I'll definitely just wear kente cloth around my goodies down here, and my titties would be hanging for sure. For sure. It's hot. It's hot. Like, I like to be free. So again, I didn't want you to think that I wanted you to change who you are, become me.
Oh no.
That's something that I work on. A lot of people always tell me, you know, people are not like you, Tamara. I'm saying you have to understand that people have their own perception, and I have to learn, I guess, how to give my commentary without putting out that energy, because that's not what my intentions are, but sometimes it comes off that way, because I'm just like, oh girl, you can just, and that's not really how, if you don't feel that way, it ain't just, because you perceive it. So I have to understand that and not push too hard, because like I said, I don't want to push too hard and be like, girl, whatever. I don't want to do it.
Like, okay, reel it back in, Jessica. Reel it back in.
But I do want you to be free. You know what I'm saying? To be you, and to, again, you're a bowl of sunshine. That's the best way I can describe you. And, you know, people need your AMPspiration. Because AMP for you would be amplified, even though AMP for me is amputee. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are just an inspirational person, and you don't know how you can be inspiring someone else. That's how I look at it too. People, you know what I'm saying, tend to change how they perceive themselves just by looking at me, which is why I expose myself sometimes. That's why I take the photos that I do, and I don't mind putting myself out there, because there are a lot of people who just won't, and just live their whole lives in this box.
Yeah.
And it's my perception that that's a sad existence. You're not born to do that. So if I can just go out there and show you that it's easy to just whatever, go right on ahead. You know what I mean? So perception is important and non-important. The only real important thing about perception is your perception of yourself. Everything else is a teeter-totter. It depends. You know what I'm saying? Because perceiving things certain ways can really mess up what you got going on. I'll give you an example in my relationship. There's so many things that I used to perceive because I had a pre-recorded thought about what a relationship was supposed to be like. Supposed to have this, and we're supposed to be like this, and you ain't calling me like that. So, you know what I'm saying? You're communicating with me like this, so this must mean this. And and all of that came from insecurities in myself. I'm not good enough. I have one arm. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He travels. You know what I'm saying? Makes more money than me. You know, other women who look a certain way he has access to. So if he doesn't pick up my call, or if he's not,
must be, yeah.
and he could be talking to somebody else, or I'm just on a. I did that for
You run yourself crazy.
years. I did that for years. This is something else. Working with you has helped me learn too. I had to apologize to my king. I had to apologize to him because I used to be so pissed off sometimes when I would want to call him and he don't want to answer me. And I'm just like, it's 24 hours in a day. You mean it's help. You use the bathroom, right? You can, you know what I'm saying? While you making number 2, you can text me. You know what I'm saying? Why you stand up and pee? You got 2 hands. You can use one hand and pee. You can call me. Like,
too much.
I used to torture myself. Like, I used to really get in this depressive state at times, thinking that he's ignoring me because of the way our relationship, you know what I'm saying, has panned out. Because we don't live together. He's always on the road. Again, what perception of that? We found, you know what I'm saying, how people, what that's about. So I had all of those thoughts in my mind. So it frustrated me. And I put all of this negative energy on myself. And now, just after a month, you know what I'm saying, of working, I had to, I'm so sorry, because he definitely be hitting me up during the day and I be missing his text. Like, he came by and hung up, you know, my little RBG thing on, you know what I'm saying? He did that while I was at work and sent me a picture of it around 2 o'clock. I ain't see that thing till we dipped. Yeah, see, that's normally me sending messages and then 5 hours later, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had to apologize to him for, you know what I'm saying, for the years of the, you know, about me. Perception. So that it's just teaching me to, you know what I'm saying, to keep that balance. Looks can be deceiving. You got to do the research. You need to get all of the information before you just make a snap perception about what. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just never know. Again, like with me, another example, when I walk and go about handling my day, most people who walk are poor out here. Assume they're homeless, you know what I'm saying? Or they're technically in poverty. That's why they're walking and they can't afford a car, because living in Macon, Georgia, you need a car. But that's really not my case. I just don't know how to drive. I definitely have a up-to-date Android phone. Right. I run an LLC. I just paid to go to Mexico. Right. You know what I'm saying? But seeing me walk.
People's perception of you. I was actually, I was perceived that way too, you know, and I got a whole car, but I was riding my bike with the children and they was like, do you drive? I said, I sure do. He's like, do you have a car? I said, uh-huh. They're like, trying to figure out what's going on. Like, why are you riding your bike? Because I'm exercising, you know, but his perception is like, I don't drive. I got these 2 kids, you know, I must be a single mom, you know, and times must be hard. So I had to ride my bike to the grocery store, but that's not the case. It's just that I said, we gonna ride our bikes to get the exercise instead of driving, because it's right up the street, you know, but people's perception,
because this is hot Georgia. So who in their right mind is going to want to walk or be riding?
Right. We got AC in the car anyway, so the bike is a little cooler.
And that's a bad thought process, because how I perceive that's exercise. I get sauna action. That's how I look at that. Because on my life, I was sweating. I even look at the sun and I start sweating. You know what I'm saying? And that was actually an adverse reaction to my accident. Made me feel like my pores were closed my whole life. And then when I had my accident, it just opened up.
Wow.
Being fat, I never sweated that hard. But now I'm just
drenched. You do be sweating.
See what I'm saying? Like, you know, as soon as it get hot, it just, that's how I know, the temperature. But my perception of it, sweating, that means that your sweat means that's your thermometer for your body. When you start sweating, that means your body's overheating and your body is trying to cool it off. So my body thermometer works. So why would I be upset about that? But some people, I'm a woman. Sweating profusely is not attractive. A lot of people sometimes even think she must be on drugs. Some people have gave me that look before, and I had to check them, and they was, yeah, I read your mind. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, no. Regular old hot outside. Good old
Yeah.
pumping. Yeah, no. Ain't nobody on no coke. We don't do that around here.
Right.
Yeah. But people's perception. I'm
Yep.
saying profusely. Why? I'm saying to them that's not attractive. You know, you get the whole little whites, you know, the wet spots under your, you know what I mean? Like, what's going on with you?
I remember one of my best friends, every time she would sweat, her husband would get so upset with her. So like, I can't help it. But he hated to see her sweat for whatever reason, you know, because she's heavy set. But he would get so frustrated, like, you're sweating. It's just like, well, I can't help it. But his perception is like people are watching because you're heavy set. You know, they're bringing more attention to you. But reality is you just sweat a lot. Like you said, it's hot. Their perception of me is what they think. It's not what they know.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's unfortunate, and that's why we need to perceive ourselves. So that and ultimate is what we need to do. We need to worry about how we perceive ourselves and not how other people think.
Perceive you. Yep.
You can't live your life. Human beings will fail you. We're all human. Again, we all have our own perception. So you cannot base your life and who you are off somebody else's thought.
You cannot. People always say, how you vegan and you thick like that, or you heavy? Aren't all vegans supposed to be skinny?
Nope.
Well, I've been vegan for almost 9 years and I'm still not boned. So I'm not sure why your perception is that way, but my reality.
Because of how we think about fitness. Again, our fitness bases in this country, I hate to say it, is based off of European standards. If you don't look like this, that means you're unhealthy. When you get into modeling, a size 10 model is considered a plus size.
Plus size, yep.
In the plus size world, hell no. Everybody, we trying to get to 10. What you talking about? If we was only at 10, life would be amazing. And you trying to say this girl right here that I've been, you know what I'm saying, envying all this time. She's
right.
Plus size. Do you see how they fuck up our perception about?
They really do.
Second guessing ourselves. It's like, if you judge a fish on how he climbs a tree, of course he gonna think he dumb.
Right.
Because fish don't climb trees.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to perceive yourself. Worry about how you feel about you and go with that.
Yeah.
And see, that is what's going to attract the people that are supposed to be for you anyway. You will repel the people that you don't need the more you get into self, because you're going to exude that energy. Everything is energy. We attract everything to us. Most of the time, when you're in a relationship that, I don't want to use so much toxic, but something that doesn't work, it's still a reflection of you. It's something that you need to fix. That's why you attracted it to you. It's supposed to teach you a lesson. You know, most of us don't learn the lesson. We just feel like I need to just keep dealing with this. In this relationship, you know what I'm saying? Instead of going with, I call it spirit. You know, when stuff is wrong, we have those things, but we kind of block that out because our perception of we've been together too long.
Yeah.
We got kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got businesses together. We have all of these tangible things. So if we break up, that's gonna mess all of that up.
Yeah. So, but it's already messed up.
And you can go through life and have these, because there's plenty of people who are in these marriages or in these relationships and they become successful. All this money, all this prestige, but they are unhappy.
And they're cheating on one another.
And they're cheating on one, and they doing their own thing. You know what I mean? Like, perception.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Like,
Another thing, like our friend, you know, you know what I'm saying? How, you know, some men think about women and how some women think, you know what I'm saying, about men. There are still men out here that truly think that all men are dogs and that they just can't help having
Right.
one woman. And you cannot tell them different.
Right.
When there's several realities out there that proves differently.
Right.
Because that's their universe and what they attract. That's all they're around, which is why I think that's all that is.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. You need to get outside of your box. You know what I'm saying? Go travel. See other cultures. See other things. See other people outside of what you're normal. And you will probably see just how different things really are. That there are people out there who are fulfilled in their life, because you don't need a lot when you're fulfilled. When you're content and you have what you need, 9.5 times out of 10, you're not going to go out seeking more, because most people seek things that they don't have.
Right.
But if you have it, what's the point of going on out? You know what I'm saying? Going on out there and get something else. In a reference to men. You know what I mean? If you have a solid, you know what I'm saying, woman in your life that adheres to what you need, your needs and your wants, you're not going to go and step outside. Relationship. It doesn't matter what type of relationship it is. You don't have to get married. You know, that individual to, you know what I'm saying, to take you seriously. See, people feel like that piece of paper is the validation. You know what I'm saying?
That paper don't mean a hill of beans, like Mom would say.
It doesn't.
They don't keep people from cheating on their spouses.
But you tell. I know so many married couples who will fight me to the death on that. And like, you just don't understand because you've never been married, but sex is marriage to me. That's how I feel. It's one of the reasons why I don't do the whole stepping out thing. You know what I'm saying? I understand that that's energy. It is not just a hump. It is just not you slamming skin. You know what I'm saying? Sex is a spiritual ritual, to be quite honest. It brings forth life. Just really think about that. And we don't think about that. That act brings life. That's not something you should take lightly and just be doing with a bunch of people when you can bring forth life. So no, I can't just be, I'm on Erykah Badu, I'm a whole lot of woman, but I can't be dividing. Right. This whole pie got to be for one person. Sorry, got to be selfish. It ain't got that one person is the one who know how to eat it right. Right. Know how to slice it. You know how to save it. Right. How you want to take that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good on that. And if a person is not for me, I'm just going to dip. That's another thing. We're not possessions. You know what I'm saying? And my relationship, the way it's been made, has helped me kind of understand that. Because we're both at the moment, even 10 years in, we still technically can dip off. We are not legally, you know, bound to each other. So if he ever decide like this ain't it, if I ever decide this ain't it, we can go about our ways. Because things change. You just never know. You know, what if we were just supposed to be together to learn, you know what I'm saying, from each other and then move on and find our purpose? Right. What if that's the case? And if that's the case, I can't be upset about that. I love the experience, that 10-year experience I had with him. I'm a woman because of him. He's made me a woman in a lot of ways. So I can never take that back. I would never want to. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like true love, you want what's best for the individual. Yeah. And you know what? That's one of the reasons why my ex-husband and I separated. If you're not happy and you can't find any joy in this, then the next step is to separate. And I don't want to hold you back, and vice versa. So I'm doing what's best for us, because it's definitely not good for the children to see no love between their parents. You know, so they're going to see that, you know, they're perceiving that, okay, well, mommy lives here, daddy lives here, they must be, you know, not agreeing. And it's not only that just the case, but it means that I want to be able to show my children what love looks like. And I couldn't do it in a marriage that there was no love in.
And so hopefully their perception of that warps into something beautiful when they become a husband or become somebody's wife. I can only pray that it works best for them, but I can only do what is best for the both of us. You know what I mean? I was not my full happy Jessie self toward the end, and that wasn't fair for me nor anybody that I associate myself with. It's just not fair for society and everybody that I impact to get a dumbed down version of myself. That's not cool. Nor is it cool to the creator, because he has plans for me. You know what I mean? So
absolutely, you are absolutely right. I'm glad you said that, because yeah, you do have babies that are watching you. And this is something else that popped up in the chill and chat situation when we were talking to the pastor dude that was being very vocal. You know, he was saying how he has responsibilities to his children and all of that. And you do have responsibility to your children, to teach them how to love, to teach them to be upstanding, your sons to be upstanding men and your daughters to be upstanding women. But the only way to teach them how to love is by showing them. Your children, honestly, they don't listen to y'all.
they watch.
They're the word y'all say. They're watching you, your moves, and how you do that, and that's how they developed. You can tell them all day you're supposed to do this, that, and the third. As long as you're not doing this, that, and the third, then it's okay. Example for myself: my mom didn't drink or smoke. Once she learned that she had me. At the time we were Christians, so she took the straight and narrow, went to church, got saved, and gave up all worldly things. See what I'm saying? So even though my aunts were the hoodlums, they smoked, they drank, fornicated, was on all types of drugs and all this other stuff. They were doing all of that. And I had told you before that there were a couple of times when my aunt would, try to offer me beer, trying to be funny or whatever. I would always tell her no. Now, this is my aunt now. I love her. I trust her. She's definitely one of my elders that, I learned from. My mama didn't do that. So it didn't matter what you had going on. My mama didn't do that. So no, thank you.
Yeah.
I ain't going to be disrespectful to you, but no, thank you. Because that's not what I didn't see my mother drinking. I didn't see my mother smoking. I didn't see her doing any of those things. So that may not be the thing to do. Now, when it came down to smoking, because that I do that, you know what I mean? But I watched everybody around me. I grew up in a house full of functional crackheads. Yeah, so I heard things, saw things, whether they know or remember it or not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I just knew something in me just knew, like, yeah, that's not for life. So let me do a little research. Let me. And again, my research was straight observation. Everybody around me was smoking a good 5 years before I jumped on the bandwagon. Little sisters, all my friends, high school, all of that. And I watched them. What were they doing afterwards? When it went away, how did they feel about that? You know what I'm saying? I thought about the stories and the things that I saw at home and compared them to what I was seeing out here in the streets. And they kind of chilling. They happy, hungry, maybe horny, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's about it. But ain't nobody stealing, selling their bodies, strung out. You know what I'm saying? I observe my perception.
Right. And see, my perception growing up, my mom didn't drink. I was told my dad drank, but I don't remember that. But I'm looking at my aunt, I'm looking at my sister, they drink, and the outcome is not pretty. So my perception is if I drink, it's not going to be pretty. You see what I'm saying? And so that's why I'm 38 and I drink maybe once or twice a year socially, and I sip it. I don't even finish it. But that's, of course, my perception of what I see and what I saw that kind of shapes me of who I am. So
that's exactly right, because like I told you, you're a bowl of sunshine. So if you were to drink, all it's going to do is make that bowl shine brighter.
Yeah, probably even more annoying. I can't even imagine. I don't. I'm not.
No, we're not being annoying. Like
I could be a lot, especially if I'm sleepy. It's too much for myself. I gotta like lay your happy self down.
no, we need more of that happiness, and it brings. That's why they call it spirits.
Mm-hmm.
Brings out a spirit in you. You know what I mean? And I'm not a big drinker, but I've definitely bumped up to, you know what I'm saying, since I lived in my own place, because before I was mainly a smoker. But again, perception. When I got in my own place, I had this perception that I'm grown now. I got my own place now. Sit on my own patio and sip my wine like you see on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like you see on TV. And so I'm grown now, so I get to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked up, you know what I'm saying, on alcohol because of that. Mm-hmm. And alcoholism runs in my family.
Mm.
So that's something that I have to, you know what I'm saying, you know, keep intact, because my DNA is still my DNA. Those are still my peoples. So I can very well fall into the very same things that they did. So I have to be mindful of that. Mm-hmm. Again, my perception being told, we are told when you're 18, you're grown.
Right.
So that's why a lot of kids have certain attitudes, because you done told them that they're grown now, even though there's a teen still added to their age.
Right.
They're still living at your house. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not even old enough to really get insurance. And if they are, it's going to be sky high because you're not trusted. Perception.
Mm-hmm. Perception.
Your mom is telling you grown, but the real world understands that you ain't.
Not right.
You're not going to mess up our money. So we're going to make this premium high as hell. Mm-hmm. Because all of them dumb young mistakes you about to make, because you don't know how to drive and you don't know no better, and your hormones are still getting itself
all over the place. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So again, perception and what we're being taught something different at home. The world's teaching it, you know what I'm saying, and showing you something else.
Yeah.
As something else, as parents, I feel like we need to look at. Mm-hmm. We start teaching our kids what's relevant to life.
Yeah.
Not just the curriculum that is given. What are your children actually going to deal with when they grow up? They're going to have to pay bills. They need to know about credit. They got to pay taxes. You know what I'm saying? They need to learn how to grow their own food. They need to, they need to know how. You know what I'm saying? They need to know. To know to survive. Honestly, not Pythagorean theorem, not Shakespeare. None of the mindless things that we teach our children are learning, you know what I'm saying, on a regular basis. And then you put them in the world and expect them to figure that out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or we have to pay you now to teach us a trade, something that you could have taught us these 12 from K through 12.
Yeah. But we got and that's one thing that I tell my son often, like, you can't wait till you're 18 to do certain things. Even when it comes to, I remember one time we had gotten a flat tire and their dad was like, told Jonathan to get out so he could see. And Jonathan was so confused, like, why I gotta get out? I'm only 9 years old. You don't become an adult when you're 18. Every opportunity is every chance you get is an opportunity to become a responsible adult, but you can't get there all of a sudden just because you turned 18 or just because you turned 21. There's little lessons that you have to learn to get you there. You know what I mean? Same with my daughter. It's like, okay, well, that's good that your room is clean now, but how consistent are you going to be when you have your own household? Like, what does this look like? So that's why I can't let them slip, even though they give me, they don't want to clean up sometimes, but I know, even though it doesn't feel good as a parent, like, I got to tell these children, I know they're going to give me attitude. I got to stay consistent so they can see that mommy's not playing. This must be really something like, and I know they'll say, when I become an adult, I'm not going to do this because mommy, but that's going to quickly change once they have children. Like, you know what mommy said? But
see, I do that all the time. You know, me and my mom, we have our challenges, but there's a lot of things that she's absolutely told me, and she's right. That's one thing my grandfather, with all of his flaws, keep on living. If he ain't
keep on living, yep.
Nothing else, that was major key, because it's true. Growth is infinite. So how you feel and how you think about things right now, all something got to do is happen.
Yeah.
Change your perception you know what I'm saying, of the situation completely. Like even with my grandfather, I guess I should like him. If you wanna think about it, if we were talking about anybody else but my grandfather, it would be, he need to be under the jet. I done told my mama several times, you and grandma are good. You wouldn't have a daddy if that was me. And that's real. It's in my perception as your mother. I gave birth to you. It is my job to protect you by any means, even if that means taking somebody's life or giving up my own, to protect you, to understand, to let you know that you are protected. You see what I'm saying? I could not have left my 7 children in that situation. I don't care how many, I don't care who said they were, if I had to go to a shelter with all of them.
Yeah.
That's what I would have did. But I definitely wouldn't have left him there, and he wouldn't have been alive to be able to do that. Whole facts. Love my grandfather to his death. But nah, that wouldn't have rocked.
Yeah.
At all. And I wouldn't have allowed him to do that to me either. You know what I'm saying? And I've unfortunately had situations, not so much where it went there, but there was definitely at one time when I was 5. My grandmother's husband, I was 5, approached me inappropriately. That energy, and this is what I mean, that energy. My grandmother married a man and had 7 children. A man who did that to his kids and beat on you. She didn't change her energy. She didn't do any work. She tried to run from the situation, but that energy was still in her. So that's why she attracted the man that she was with. Now, he didn't beat on her, and he didn't actually do anything to me or any one of my aunts and them, but that was in him. Because at 5 years old, he said something inappropriate to me, old enough to tell my mother about it. And how that was deep rooted, when we moved to Georgia. Now, I want to say this is about 10 years ago. So mind you, I was 5 when that situation happened. So just 10 years ago. So I was about 25, 26 years old. Him and my grandmother moved down to Georgia with us, and he smokes. So we used to have our little, little smoking sessions or whatever. And this one particular time, he brought it up. I had forgotten about it, or not to say I forgot, but something that I would bring. I didn't see him and think about that moment. It wasn't that traumatic to me, but I do remember that. And he got high and was drinking, and it came out of him. He just started randomly talking about it, saying, "Yeah, I know when you was 5, I said that when you told your grandmother and and she got on me about that, and I never did that again. I never said." He was mumbling this to me, and I'm just like, okay,
wow.
You know what I'm saying? But again, my grandmother was with that man for 35 years, all the way up until her death. You see what I'm saying? He cheated on her. For 25 of those years. Did you hear that? Okay, it just stopped. I don't know what just happened, but that just, oh, wow. That water came through. That's sorry.
My bad. I do gotta get going though in a few seconds.
Nah, you Gucci. That made me lose my train of thought. Oh yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? Again, she was with that man for 35 years, all the way up until he died. He cheated on her for a good 30 of them. I guess once that stopped working, So and that's kind of how I feel that's how that went. But she was willing to deal with that, her perception. He's not beating on me, and he's not molesting my kids. So this is the lesser of two evils. So I'm gonna ride with that. You see what I'm saying? And this is why I'm doing the self-work. See, overstanding how she thought, it shows me how not to think about myself. That's so I don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? To know I'm going to stand on my own too. to not get into relationships like that.
Right.
I feel that even if I was to have a baby, you know what I'm saying, out of wedlock or whatever, that I am not bound to that type of situation, to not continuously have babies in a situation like that, because your perception of marriage is, I'm not supposed to deny my husband. This is when we dibble and dabble into religion. You know, you have to honor your husband. You have to do what he says. You're not supposed to, you know, if he wants sex every day, you're supposed to give it to him, even if you're not in the mood. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And no, hell no, that don't make no kind of sense. You know what I'm saying? But that was her perception.
Because that's my perception is that, and I've experienced that in my 14 years, is that's rape. It's not only spiritual rape because you've been convinced that you're supposed to do it, even if you're not feeling it. And then you thinking on the physical aspect is you're not even into it and he's having his way with you. I actually have a poem about it, and I haven't even been able to finish writing it because it is so deep. And as I talk to other sisters in the faith that I'm in, they've experienced it too. And that's a normal thing. And I'm just like, this is not normal.
That's not normal.
It's unhealthy. You create a resentment toward your king. Like, these things are not good.
Not at all.
Your perception of marriage is warped.
It is. And that comes from what we're taught. So I implore people to, not to say to denounce, you know what I'm saying, your foundation, but to be open-minded. You know what I'm saying? And to seek, you know what I'm saying, other ways of life. To, you know what I'm saying, just to compare. Because if your way of life is perfect or the way, it should be able to stand up to the to tests of time. It should be able to be challenged. You know what I'm saying? So if something doesn't feel good, 9.5 times out of 10, it ain't good. It doesn't matter what's been written or said. Pieces of paper. These books, this paper that people done wrote, people done put their perception on. That's what all holy books, to be quite honest, they are perception of the author, how they perceive God or the events that were going on, you know what I'm saying, at that time. That's why there are versions. I can speak about other, you know, books, but there are a quadrillion versions of the Bible. So I tend to ask Christians, which one of y'all are right? Y'all all reading the same book. But y'all all have, there's about 12, 13 perceptions of what is meant or what they mean in that book. So which one of y'all are right? How do you decipher that? It'd be different if y'all had different books. Then I can feel you, like your book is telling you that's what y'all are all reading the same book. You're reading the same words. But you holler at Mary, you holler at Jesus, you hollering, you know what I'm saying, at Jehovah. You holler, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all all have different things. Like this one, you need to be baptized in water.
In Jesus' name. The other one is you get sprinkled. The other, the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? Then others, you ain't got to do that. I know the Church of God in Christ. They're very strict about how they do things. Like they don't play music. They don't.
Yeah, no instruments.
No instrument. None of that.
I know we grew up, you couldn't wear earrings. I didn't get my ears pierced until I was 23 years old.
You're not supposed to put holes in your ear. Women are not supposed to wear pants. You're supposed to cover up your head when you go to church. Like I was in church for 9 years. So and our denomination was Pentecostal.
Yeah, I was Pentecostal. Yep.
Pentecostal church. So we sang, like the only time I liked church was Sunday night. Sunday school was whack. You just had the pastor, he talking, and I fell asleep every time. But the music, I was with all of that. We could dance for Jesus all night. I was with all of that. I love going to 7 o'clock because everybody shouting and you know what I'm saying, doing all that. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed that part. Right. But then there again, you got the Church of God in Christ. They don't do none of that. To them, that's disrespectful to God. To be gyrating and doing all that extra stuff, you know what I'm saying? To them, that's disrespectful.
Yeah, their perception.
Of it.
I remember I was in high school. Well, no, I just graduated high school, going into college, and I was touring with this gospel group. I ended up leaving the country to sing with this gospel group, and because I wasn't there on Sunday, they had issues with it. Like, how you gonna go out and sing for the world? We're not singing for the world. We're singing for other churches. Like, you do realize I'm still doing what I'm doing for the Most High, just in a different location. Since you already got your praise team, and because we are brown skin, we can't lead, even though we're the best singers in church. I'm gonna go where I could be used, but their perception is I was a backslider because I was going to other churches to sing. And they wasn't paying me to be on the praise team at our home church, but they was paying us to be touring, these other countries and singing the gospel, what we all claim that we're supposed to be doing. But it's not at your church. I'm not being used at our home church because you already have people in place that are just, not my complexion.
Right.
Yeah.
Perception again. So this is why I'm actually glad that, you do get to do your own thing. That's why I can't wait till you open up for open mic night so you can.
Somebody just messaged me about that, and they've been putting it on the Facebook page. Like, I'm beyond ready for it mentally to do these open mic nights. Like, I have been writing. I have this poem for my special friend, and he has not want me to mention it yet. I don't know why. I'm excited to share it. I have a lot of poems that I have not shared in public because it makes me be vulnerable, and it makes me express myself fully without holding back. And that's the reason why I write, is to get it out of me. And so this particular poem that I want to share, it's a little graphic.
But energy you got in you that you be trying to have. I know.
But I'm excited to share it. The reason why I don't share certain pieces is because I know people's perception of me may change because of the piece. Crazy, right?
Only your perception counts. Again, like this, I'm glad you said that. And this is why I make it clear that I am a multifaceted being. I do not need anyone to think one thing about me. I am love and light. I am here for my people and all of that jazz, but I am still a human. You know what I'm saying? Like, I work at a vegan restaurant, but I still eat fish. You know what I'm saying? I'm striving to live the most healthiest life that I can, but I still sip a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm 35 years old. I haven't even hit my prime yet. You know what I'm saying? And to be quite honest, all while everybody was having sex in high school and in their 20s and doing all of that, I wasn't doing none of that.
Right.
The most sexual activity I've had my whole life. And sometimes I'm in that energy and you know what I'm saying? I'm going to put it out there. So don't.
Because you're a woman.
Yeah.
You're sexy. Come on.
Don't put me in a box. Don't look at me and assume that I'm supposed to feel this way about this, or I'm supposed to look at this like this, because that's not it. Mm-hmm. Or 9 times out of 10, I don't think the way you think I'm supposed to think. And that surprises people, because speaking of some situations, like, most people have this thing about being a square, or or being from the streets, or how it was said to me, or whatever. Like, for me, in certain areas, I can technically be called a square. When I'm sitting there speaking truth and checking people and telling them what they doing ain't the right thing to do, that's the square in me, because I'm trying to get you to do the right thing. And most of them look at it as if I'm raining on their parade. You know what I'm saying? But then you go into other, like, when I'm around you, I'm the bad one, in this duo. Because I've been saying, I curse, you know what I'm saying? I can get a little raunchy, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why me and Mr. Troy, that's why we cool, because we're a little raunchy. So I can turn it, depending on where I'm at, I can turn it on and off. It just depends on, honestly, who I'm around. And it's still. And
I feel you, because I'm not, like, if you ask my best friend that I've known, she's the person, one of the people that I've known for the longest. I've known for 25 years. Because I'm an Army brat, I don't really have that many people that I can say that about. But this young lady, she knows all the facets of me. When you first meet me, I'm 100% myself. I just don't share my entire self with you. Not that I do it intentionally, like, oh, I'm hiding this from that person, but enough for me to, without judgment, say, you know what I mean? This is what I like. Like I said, my best friend, there's times where I can feel like, ooh, listen, I know I'm sexy. Like, I can talk the talk, but when I actually walk the walk, this is what people can't believe that I can do. Not that I'm out of control or anything, but I am a woman and I know I'm beautiful. So you know what I mean? It's like, well, sometimes it's like, I know, you know, my walk may be a little more peppier versus, you know, I might just look like I don't care about what I got on, because I usually, if I'm just out and about hustling and busting, I'm not. But for open mic or chill and chat, or I know I'm going somewhere, you can be like, well, you clean up nicely. And I'm like, well, thank you.
That's right. You be trying to be humble. I be humble, and I understand that a little bit, because contrary to popular opinion, I'm not the type that, you know, really takes compliments. Some people say I can't take a compliment. Overly talking about myself or bigging myself up, that's not something that I'm used to.
Yeah.
I know I'm great, you know what I'm saying? But that I've just never been the person that people talk about all the time and do that. So it kind of makes me uncomfortable to talk about myself, you know what I'm saying? Overly positive, like, because it makes me feel like I'm being conceited. And that's not the case.
There's a thin line between conceited and knowing yourself. And I never, because you know, growing up in the church, that was told that you're, you know, being conceited, saying that you're great at something, or you're being full of yourself. But no, you're just stating what you are. Like, I'm still learning, by the way. Even though I feel like I've looked the same when I was almost 400 pounds to where I am now. I mean, I still have the same big old eyes, the same, you know, face. But it's like, even now, learning to receive compliments from men and women, just be like, you're so beautiful. I'm like, oh, thanks. But I say it like, oh, thanks. Like,
you do. You surely do.
But I'm learning to even say that, because before I'd be like, just like that. I wouldn't even say anything. I'm like, okay.
That's all
I'm learning myself.
Well, that's good. I'm very happy about that, because yes, you are definitely amazing. You are definitely beautiful, and I absolutely want your perception to be yours about you. And I promise you, what your perception is, everybody else will have the same, or they will be eliminated. They just won't be able to do. That's just how they go. If they don't vibrate on your frequency, they just they're gonna eliminate themselves. And you don't got to get out of pocket. That's something else.
Right.
You ain't got. I used to always be scared about that, feeling like I'm going to have to turn into a bitch, or you know what I'm saying, being extra in order to make people respect me, you know, and not have certain perception, because people perceive that I'm somebody to be played with. That I can go in and you know what I'm saying, try her, because rah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure you can contest to that, because you're nicer than I am. So you already know, you know what I'm saying? Like, you already know there's certain things like, oh hell no, that's not
right.
That, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you gotta just understanding yourself, knowing your worth, knowing who you are is the key.
100%.
The key to all of that, and everyone needs to do that. We need to absolutely start thinking about self, and it's not selfish.
Right.
When you got yourself together, you can be great for everybody else that's in your life. You know, everyone is important. Everybody in your universe is almost like a welded machine. Got the little spark, so you know, whatever everybody is a piece in that, and that machine don't work without all the pieces. I don't care how huge the machine may look, it's parts that make it up. And once one little thing is messed up,
look at you, Sorry.
Oh, yeah. I'm an hour and 30 minutes late. You'll say, but it's all right. We gonna get it together. We gonna get it together.
Good job.
Yeah, but
Well, I do have to go, my love, because I am here in South Carolina with my parents, and this is my last night with them, and I can already feel myself get a little drowsy, so I'm gonna spend a little bit more time with them. But thank you so much for having me on the show. You already know you are the bomb, diggity.
Reflection. I appreciate you being on my very first live on YouTube. This is going to go down in history. This was an amazing build. I hope that, you know what I'm saying, that people learn from this and, you know, and seeing, you know, more of us and, you know, experiencing like self, guys. And as you can see in the ticker, if you're making Georgia, you need to come to 30.
That's what I'm saying. You cool like that, girl.
Come on in. You know what I'm saying? And meet me at the drive-thru. I got you.
She really does, y'all. Let me tell you. And she talk about this. I'm just doing my job. No, I've seen people with 2 functioning arms that don't do half the job as that you do. This lady right here be hustling like nobody's business. Customer service is on point. Greets everybody the same exact way, no matter what color, race, short, tall, whatever you are. Like, she is like straight up in your face. Welcome to Southern Vegan Soul Cafe. How may I help you? She's a beast.
I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to know my skills, and because, you know, I haven't worked with anyone or any company in 13 years. So to get right back into it and go off without a hitch, I'm glad that I can help and make sure your business is run the way that it needs to, because we need you out there. I appreciate it. But okay, go on ahead, enjoy your family. I'm going to see you on Tuesday.
Sounds like a plan.
Yes, I love you.
I love you. You already know.
And so enjoy your night, and tell your dad and all of the awesome fathers in your life that I said Happy Father's Day.
That's right.
And do enjoy.
Thank you, my love. Peace, my lovey.
Peace. All right. That was awesome, YouTube. I hope you enjoyed that awesome bill with my sister Jessica Mack. Again, if you live in the Macon area, you should absolutely come and check us out Tuesday through Friday at Southern Vegan Soul Cafe. That's 3348 Vineville Avenue in Macon, Georgia. It is the best food you can ever taste. It's healthy, and it's awesome. And like she said, you're going to get the best customer service, you know what I'm saying, that I can muster out of this body of mine. I got you. I'm going to have all of the other people that I'm affiliated with. I just know so many amazing people who are doing so many amazing things, you know what I'm saying, especially my melanated folks. Okay, so I'm definitely going to have my sister Tiffany, who's a part of Tiffy's Corner.com. Her website is tiffyscorner.square.site. I'm the brand ambassador, you know what I'm saying, for her natural body care line. It is amazing. She has my skin and everything that I got going on skin-wise. You're just popping. You know what I mean? I'm doing my best, you know what I'm saying, to have a life, an organic life. Everything that I use, you know what I'm saying, everything that I put in my body, you know what I'm saying, I'm learning and growing for it to all be organic. So the same thing that you put in the inside is also on the outside. So absolutely need to join the wave, return to the essentials, and shop at tiffyscorner.square.site. All of our soaps, facial masks, amazing. And you also, if you drop my name, Plump Queen, it's right there on the screen. You drop that in the coupon code, you'll get 10% off any purchase that you ever make in Infinity. Okay, so Plump Queen gonna always get you 10% off your purchase. You will not be disappointed. Also, I'm also affiliated with a company called Quantum R&D. Okay, this is a Black-owned herbal company. There are some naturopathic doctors that it's run by, and Quantumite is one of their major products. I will show this to you. This is a stone that has been charged with infrasonic waves. So this not only helps your body in aiding itself to heal, it also gives it energy and power. I never take this off unless I'm taking a shower, and I never take these earrings off. I have them in my ears at all times. So at all times, I am charged. Okay, they have amazing herbal supplements. We take Alpha 7, with all this pandemic stuff going on. We have been speaking about how your immune system is extremely important, and either fighting it off or not getting it or preventing you getting this. Alpha 7 has helped me, maintain my health. I've gone out when I've, for important things. I'm actually about to travel to Mexico in August, because I've been feeding my body all of the herbs and all of the things that it needs to keep my immune system working the way it's supposed to. Your immune system is built to fight off any foreign substances or things. That is what your immune system is for. So as long as you keep your immune system on point, you'll be just fine. So Alpha 7 is what I've been using. I've also been using these eye drops. I had, when I used to go to college, I had an issue seeing far away on the board. So I used to have to wear glasses. But for some reason, I would never really wear them once I got out of school. And little did I know that that was actually the best thing that I could have done, because these glasses that they make you wear, they actually aid in making your eyesight worse. This is why you have to keep getting your eyes checked. This is why you have to keep getting your glasses recalibrated. If they fixed your eyes, there would be no money, in optometry. I believe it's the right word for that. So wearing glasses actually worsens your eyesight. So we have these eye drops, all herbs. You just drop that you put in your eyes in the morning and at night. My vision so far has definitely gotten a whole lot better. I can now watch TV if I want to in my bed and the screen is still clear. I used to have to wear glasses, while I'm laying in bed to watch TV. So those eye drops are absolutely on point. As well as I've been using their PMS Naturals herbs as well. For my ladies, y'all understand, Aunt Flo, Red Man, whatever you want to call it, when you're talking about your heavy flow, when you're talking about PMS, your moods, when you're talking about cramps, all of those things, these herbs actually aids in your body in eliminating these things. Because to be quite honest, and with our cycles, we're not supposed to bleed the way that we do. I know that we have been taught that that's normal, but it's not. The reason why we hemorrhage, because that's what we're doing. We're hemorrhaging. The reason why we do that is because we've been toxifying our bodies since day one, since we were born. So your body is so amazing. It has adapted to, the toxicity things that you put into it so it can protect itself. So it now sheds that toxic lining, from your uterus, so you will be able to give life. That's how amazing your body is, because you're not supposed to do that. Hemorrhaging in any other form or fashion is a problem. You get a cut and it consistently bleeds, that's the problem. If you're bleeding internally, that's a problem. So why is it normal for us to bleed, for 7 days out of the month? That's not normal. We have to unlearn and relearn. So Quantum R&D is definitely a place that you need to go if you want to see and some of the testimonials for some of these herbs and even light therapy. That is something else. I'm going to have Dr. Atasi Lee L on here so we can speak about that. Light therapy has also helped me, because about a month or so ago, I've been working me and Jess were talking earlier, working out and, getting our bodies right and stuff. So I'm very flexible. I have been working with my sister, Lucy McKinnon, with her Just Juice brand. She does dancing of all sorts, pole, chair, floorology and things of that nature. So she's been helping me, stretch out my limbs and making myself a little bit more limber. So with all of that, with all of that, stretching, I have to be mindful about how I do that, because I am still a big girl in certain ways. And I did this move and I completely hurt my back. I don't know. I popped something that I didn't know was there. I don't know. But it really, really hurt. And we were right in the middle of COVID. So going to a hospital, going to a doctor, a med stop, that is 1,000% out of the question. I will not be setting foot in anybody's hospital type situation. It has to be life for it. And I don't even know. You're going to have to take me to Dr. Tassi, to be quite honest. I'm not trying to go to nobody's hospital. So I talked to him about it. I was wearing My Quantanite, I had taped my necklace and my earrings to the actual space or the actual part of my body that was hurting the most. Along with that and a 30-minute session of light therapy, my back was fine in a week instead of me having to get antibiotics and put a brace on and be, out of it for like a month and some change. It took me 7 days, to heal myself. That's what light therapy, can do for you. So I'm absolutely going to have him on here to talk more about that, the more products that I use, the more that I can share, with you all. And I believe that is all. I would tell you to watch us on YouTube, but here we are on YouTube. I appreciate everyone giving me your time and your energy. I'm looking forward to building, a rapport with you all. And I just want to inspire you. That is the goal. And so as you can see on the ticker, this is Tell Truth Vision. Dua, dua, dua for being here and giving me your energy. And we will be back. I have a host of different ideas. I have a bunch of people that I want you guys to meet that have, just like Jess, have an amazing mindset, definitely have something to say. So look forward to that. You'll be seeing me again, and I'll be looking forward in seeing you. So love, love, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. And of course, be inspired. Oh, and yes, if you would like to donate to the brand, we are growing. To be quite honest, what the ultimate goal is to have a melanated version of YouTube. That is my ultimate goal for my business and for this platform. So to help out with that, if you would like to donate to the brand, that's AMPspirationTTV. You can go to our PayPal. That's paypal.me/PLUMPQueen, or you can cash app at $AMPspire Media LLC. As a matter of fact, I'm learning this little program, and it's something else you're going to learn about me as well. I keep it 1,000 as I grow. You grow. I try. I do not act like I am a perfectionist of any kind. I just make it happen. So we're going to put that information up there for you on the ticker. I'm going to get a whole lot better at this, y'all. I promise. And because I have just gotten a whole lot of merch. As you can see, I'm upgrading. I have gotten the logo on some awesome clothing. I appreciate everyone that has purchased a t-shirt. Any donations of $27 or more get you a dope brand t-shirt. Now I'm working on getting, other clothing like this, and other items. But for right now, to the public, we have our t-shirts. They're super duper dope. Some of them even come with a QR code, which is something else that I have going on. I provide digital business cards, which is something that I'm going to specifically speak about in the future, because it seems like that's going to be the new wave of, business. With all the social distancing and, everybody, some people, again, like we were saying about perception. Not everybody perceives this COVID-19 situation like others. Like for me, like I said, this was a come up. I'm not scared at all. I'm just finding different ways to make this, work out in my favor. And these digital business cards, was one of them. This is a way where you can spread your business. You can, reach thousands and thousands of new people, network, and get customers without even setting foot, in their presence. I have put my digital business card on the QR code it comes with. I've made that into stickers. I've actually added it to some of my t-shirts. So you can just scan the QR code and it takes you directly to my business card, and you have access to all of my social media websites, the website that I'm building, and everything that I have going on. You go right to it, and you don't have to ever even meet me in person. You don't have to be around me and none of that. So like every major city that I go to, I will have these, and like I can't wait to go to Mexico. Yeah, Mexico go know who AMPspirationTTV is about and who Plump Queen is. That is absolutely what's going to go down, and I cannot wait for it. All right. I believe that is all I have for you all. Love, love, love you. Appreciate your time and your energy again. And I am just looking forward to what we got going on, guys. So do enjoy It's going to be up in about an hour. It's going to be Father's Day. So I want to say happy Father's Day, you know what I'm saying, to all the fathers in the world, but especially, you know what I'm saying, to the Black fathers that's in the world. You guys, you know what I'm saying, are undervalued. And I'm going to make sure on this platform that you know and you are shown, you know what I'm saying, the respect and love that you absolutely deserve, because there are more, you know what I'm saying, loving fathers out there than there are not. I know that's not the narrative that is shown, but that is it. That is the truth. You know what I'm saying? There are more, you know what I'm saying, good fathers out there than they are not. Okay? So I love y'all. Enjoy y'all day. You know what I'm saying? Queens, pamper them. Queens, honor them. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to actually, I may go live tomorrow as well to pose a perspective, the perception of how we should go about Mother's Day and Father's Day. I think we need to change the narrative, at least in our community. I can't speak about anybody else, but in our community, we absolutely need to change our perception on those things. You know, we have to relearn, we have to unlearn and relearn. We need to create our own traditions, you know what I'm saying, that are beneficial to us. All right. So love y'all again. You're going to hear me say that a lot. And share, because we have to make inspiration go viral. So thank y'all again. Enjoy your night. Peace, and always be inspired. Bye-bye.